Or 6. That's good. I'm cool with 6. Let's top off our water. We're running out of water here, but that's fine. We're probably going to be fairly nomadic in this playthrough anyways, so I don't really care if I destroy all the water in one place. And I do have to be careful every time I come down here, because there's a good chance zombies can just wander into this area. Alright, so back to our sirens. Make a bunch of noise, bring out the zombies. My sirens do bring the zombies to the yard. I will not apologize. I should, but I won't. Okay, and as we start blasting through the rest of this fish, it should keep our calories up, so even if we don't actually gain any weight, like really gain weight, it should keep us from at least losing weight. Because as the fish goes stale, it will have less impact on our hunger, so we'll have to eat more of it to make our character not upset about being hungry. But the amount of calories we get out of it won't change. But yeah, and we are deliberately driving very slow because of all the bodies, so we don't tip our car on its side or anything, because we may or may not have done that previously. Just like before, I'm going to stage the car down here. Really should have turned on the emergency channel before we get into this. Just make sure it doesn't say air activity detected. Probably turn that... Yeah, let's put that channel, instead of getting this car and putting it on there, since we're too late to catch this broadcast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the police car, we're going to turn the sirens on, I'm going to turn the channel on in that car. We're leaving it off just so we don't catch zombies' attention there, because I don't want them there, I want them up here. Because here's where we're going to be fighting. But we've been doing this long enough and put the broadcast channel in enough places, I know off the top of my head that in this world is 102.2. Alright, it's time to get the party started. We don't have to be particularly close to the car to hear that, because it's got a busted window and we got it playing at max volume. Looks like a small group coming from the west. Seems to be having difficulty figuring out how to get to us. Oh, snow. Nice. This So the part of the broadcast I'm most interested in is at the very end, which will tell us if the helicopter's coming. But I also want to know if we got a bad storm or, you know, like bad fog or anything coming like that. So it looks like there's supposed to be like regular rainy weather. I mean, mix of rain and snow for the temperature. Light fog tomorrow, which isn't terrible but not great. No sign of helicopter warning, which is good. We keep getting slightly overheated, even though it's like keeps getting below freezing, just because of how much we're wearing. And it's a shame, because we have it all padded out to protect us, but that heat is going to be a problem over time. Especially as we get past the winter, we start getting back to like spring and summer, and it starts heating up again. We're going to be losing a lot of layers of clothes for that. Right. Oh, never mind there. I was going to say, while we wait, I'll sit in the car to recover some stamina, but nope. Alright, now let's try sitting in the car. Looks like we might be in the clear. Okay, and it's stalled. That's something we'll have to watch so we don't drain the battery. Alright, I'm going to start keeping track of when we do these things, just so, use a skull. Ooh, it was, okay, call that clear for now. Nothing else is showing up. Checking the battery before we turn it off, make sure it's topped off. Oh yeah, and this is actually, a lot of the bodies have actually decayed already. It was so much worse before. Yeah, battery's still pretty drained. I wonder how long it takes it to recharge the battery. Like, can I watch it recharge, or is it like much slower? Okay, so that's pretty slow. Oh, there's anything down here? No, let's so there's not really anything I care about in there, because the places I'd normally check out would be, there's a bakery on the second floor and everything, but that food's all gonna be completely rotten by now. I really don't have a need for it. Just giving the police car a chance to recover that battery a little bit before we do this again. Yeah, I'll deal with it like that. It shouldn't be a problem too much longer, because once we get to one of these garages where I can get a battery charger, then if I do happen to tap out the battery, that's not that big a deal. Because then all I do is I just hook it to the battery charger, bring it back, and everything's peachy. Like, just toss a heavy battery just in the back of the van or station wagon or wherever we go. Before I forget. Marking where we have our cop cars. And the last time we did this was probably somewhere around then. That's just to kind of like let us know when the last time we did those. That way, if it's been a long time, we go, oh, maybe it's time we spin back. You know, run the sirens, draw out the zombies, that kind of thing. Eventually, if I get my hands on one of those cars that isn't an absolute wreck, where I can just roll around to the sirens, then I don't need to do it that way. I just drive somewhere with the sirens blaring, sit for a minute, see what shows up, kill it, roll on to the next spot. We'll spend most of our time killing areas we haven't cleared yet. Like I was saying earlier, I think what it'll do is it'll make it a habit of like once a month in game, or once every other month, somewhere in that time frame, rolling around areas we've already declared cleared, and make sure they stay that way. Because migrations and redistribution of zombies know that we'll have a habit of occasionally repopulating areas by moving zombies there. So we keep on top of it, then we shouldn't have too much of a problem. Thank you for the follow, Sniper Spice. Welcome to the stream. Because it'd also be good to have the sirens for like these zombies. I thought would be well within the range of the siren, but apparently not, or they took this long to get here, and so the siren didn't draw them directly to us. The point is just to kill the zombies. We don't actually care about what procedure we do to get them to us or anything. Just get zombie, kill zombie. Yeah, the greater damage, it went really well. And I see you've immediately rewarded me with push-ups. I will get those knocked out real fast. And we officially crossed over 900 push-ups since the beginning of the year. All those redeemed by people watching. I do appreciate that. Some people might be thinking, haha, we're making him exercise. One, I probably need it. And then two, it gives me opportunity on stream to work on my New Year's resolution, which is great, because I have no idea how I would fit a whole bunch of push-ups into my schedule otherwise. But with it being something that we reward chat with, reward chat with? That chat can invoke on me or whatever, that works out for all of us. But at the moment, we're at the Riverside Country Club. They have like a horse track around the outside, or around the west side. So we're just doing a lap around the track, seeing what zombies showed up since the last time we were here making mayhem. Killing all them, because we're just trying to clear the area. I do feel like we are getting to the point that the country club is probably going to be getting clear in the next couple of days. Because the number of zombies that have been showing up to everything has been dwindling fast, which tells me we've started tapping the supply of zombies in the area. And what I found in practice with these runs is usually it seems like you're making no progress, no progress, no progress, no progress, and then suddenly the number of zombies showing up just starts dwindling all of a sudden when you're in no respawn. And that's when you know you've just all but wiped it out. Yeah, no respawn on these populations. It feels like an absolute meat grinder that you're not getting anywhere at all for literal thousands of zombies, and then suddenly they just peter out and lose steam. But at some point in, I don't know how long, we'll have to separate for just a minute, because my wife is so kind as to order us some dinner, and so when it arrives I'll have to help grab it and all that. But it should be just, one of these nights where it's just one delay versus the, unfortunately when I have to prepare dinner, it's one of those things where I have to step down, put it in, step down again, and bring it back up. Granted, my wife does help with it a lot, which is really nice. That zombie didn't make a satisfying dying noise, it just kind of fell over like, no. Right, cool, there's a decent number of zombies just chilling out in the trees and everything. Not too much of a surprise with what we've seen around here. Excuse me, miss, that's mine. I don't believe I gave you permission to take that from me. Yeah, so these ridiculous pop runs, it is very much taking your time, being methodical, minimizing risks, and I've not been the best about doing that, because we keep getting katanas and just going destroy all, just run in, cause mayhem. But basically, as long as you can keep killing the zombies without putting yourself at too much risk, just keep going and going and going. I see you flanking back there. It's also why you'll find I try to give trees a wide berth as much as possible. Because with these types of marathon runs, it's just anything that can get you caught is something to try and avoid. You, sir, are not very observant. We don't care about these guns we're picking up, but we do care about the bullets. I have plenty of guns. I just don't have bullets to put in them. Switch positions, don't want to be between the zombies. And I knew I had a zombie still coming after us because we had the knife, and instead of doing what we just did there with that one where we executed them, I had instead shoved them. And normally you won't shove a zombie while you're holding a short blade unless you have a second zombie aggroed. Now there is sometimes an exception, like if I kill one zombie and I'm fast enough I get in range to do where you'd be and execute on another zombie while the first zombie's still falling, sometimes it'll mistakenly considering me still aggroed to the zombie that's effectively already dead. You'll also notice most of the time that I'm attacking a zombie, I will step back unless I'm going for a finishing move. Just because that way, if I were to like whiff the shot or anything like that, I'm already moving away from the zombie. There's a good chance that the zombie won't be able to grab me between my attacks or anything. Especially when you start getting to higher levels of nimble. Low-key nimble is one of your most powerful stats in this game. It lets you get away with all sorts of stuff in fights you should not be able to. So, feel free to abuse nimble as much or as little as you'd like. We never did actually look in these. We were going to, but it looks super sketch. I think they're just going to have, like, hay inside each one, like it'll be a barn. Yeah, so it's like a barn slash stable for horses. That's fine. I want to be inside there because there's like a million corners for zombies to sneak up on me. But, that said, alright, we push so we got aggro on another zombie somewhere. Yep, there it is. So, you know, don't want to be in there. Those are the type of places you get killed. That's like part of the way you stay alive in this is almost just avoid going inside buildings unless you absolutely need to. Like, other than going to bed or whatever. Because it's looting buildings that get you caught so often because there's just so many corners you can't see around. You can make noise that draws zombies in from the outside, all that kind of stuff. And just working and feeding ourselves. Trying to get the our sadness down a little bit because that makes switching weapons and all that slower. Get calories up so we don't go underweight. Like I said earlier in the stream, I fully expect we will probably go underweight before winter's over. We might be able to circumvent it by eating some of our non-perishables, but I don't think I'm that worried about the weight issue very much. Figure instead I'll just worry about trying to use our stuff that goes bad first. Is there a window in this place? I don't think we care about anything in there. So what are in the boxes? Nails? Absolutely. Sure, taking nails, that's fine. Do those collect water? No. Alright, so we got a big building here. More than likely the doors will all be smashed down already because we made a bunch of noise here previously. Or it's just a really giant empty building. Like it's an indoor track for the horses, but for our purposes it's just a big empty building. probably shouldn't have done that. That actually could have been pretty risky if those zombies that are right next to each other and charged at the same time. But, yeah, fine. We just immediately started backing up before I think it happened. Oh, spear coming in. Didn't even see where it came from, but sure. I'll take a free spear. Spears are fun. I'll whiff hitting while they're on the ground. Not as fun. Crossovery is cashing in some points. Give me a moment and I will get those push-ups going. So we got 5 push-ups too. I'm gonna get those knocked out real fast. Alright, add those. So it's already 20 push-ups for the stream. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? We're just making the zombies going away. Doing well is good. I'm enjoying, as of officially today, I am on sabbatical. So that's fun. Been working my tail off for like 20 plus years with no real stops between, so it's nice to finally take a little bit of a break. And the reason I ran through that door is just because we haven't cleared out here, so I want to be extra careful that there was a zombie waiting for us. We just shove them out of the way and keep going. Hey, Darstrider. What are you doing? You climbed that fence and you turned around and said, "Stupid fence." Make me climb it. I got a couple of zombies down there. First I want to check down this way. We're going to be meticulous about this. We're just going up and down the different sides. Killing every zombie we see. Pretty soon my character probably should be heading home to the, we're staying here because it's going to get dark. With the rain it's going to get real dark. Which, for a reminder, I do keep a filter on OBS going that increases the brightness for all of you about 20-25%. So it makes it way easier to see in the dark versus me, where it gets absolutely horrible to try and see in the dark during the night. Because I do want, you know, nighttime in the game to be meaningful and impactful, but I also want to make sure it's a good viewing experience. I don't need white paint. Right. We've got a cashed in stretch. That's always a really big moment. Like, especially when you're at a new job, you're like, oh, I don't know how it's going. Like, I feel like it's going well, but I'm new here and I don't know. I'm not seeing any zombies. I'm not going to mess around with that place. But, so that's always, like, the stressful point of the new job. It also kind of sucks because, like, you know, there are times that perfectly good people just don't fit with jobs and all that, that neither side really knows about that until you get there. I don't like this road layout. Oh, your first job ever. Congratulations. Oh, thank you. That is one of those ones I do intend to add a timer to at some point, is the stretch one, since the stretches I go through a very specific type of stretches. So it's a pretty good one to actually just have a timer that when the time, like, have a 5-10 second lead in for me to get my stretches started. Once I push the button, go 2 minutes, then, you know, it would hop back automatically, just so I don't forget it. The only one I can't do that for is, like, my full-on away timer, or my full-on away thing, because I'll put that up for a variety of reasons. Hey, Danny's DOS, how's it going? Alright, so we got 2 more up here. Oh, 1 right next to us, that's always fun. I am curious of all the people who I know play multiple games and all that, like how many of the ones that are playing Project Zomboid normally would be playing Path of Exile, whether it's the people streaming or just watching. Because I know today was Path of Exile's new League launch, so for those into that game, today is hype, and I've heard mostly good things. Like, one of the things I'm hearing about the League mechanic is most of the League mechanics. You engage in every single map on the thing until you're like, I'm bored of it. It sounds like this League mechanic are doing pretty good about, you skip it 2 or 3 maps and you do it because you're like collecting the resources, as it were. And maybe late game that changes, but yeah. So that's cool if that's your jam. I kind of want to play it, but the problem is Path of Exile is one of those games you play it and nothing else because of how much time it takes when you're playing it. So that's the problem. And I know I don't want to do that. Like most people who stream Path of Exile, it's League launch, you stream it hard for a month, and then you don't stream it for like another 2 months. Like, you stream it for League launch, and then you drop and go to all your other games. But I don't think I'm going to do that. From everything I've talked to people who watch this stream, they're like, Path of Exile bores me. It's like, fair enough. It is a very grindy game. Oh yeah. And passion in Path of Exile, I wouldn't quite go that far. There was definitely a time that would be true, but I definitely haven't played the last 2 leagues particularly much, partly because out of RSI concerns, repetitive stress injury. Like, I was starting to have some wrist pain and all that. Like, it hadn't gotten to the point of anything serious. It was like early phase meridian nerve, or median nerve compression. And I'm like, I can't play this game. It's not good for my wrists. But I do understand the last 2 leagues, they've started taking it seriously as more and more of the community have become vocal about saying, hey, look, what you think is good game design for player retention is actively hurting people. Like, there's a line between that and quality of life. How close to you finishing work are we? So today was actually my last day. So I am officially on sabbatical right now. You know, till I decide to pursue my next adventure. So we're gonna take a little time off work and then we'll see. So pretty excited about that. I've been pretty open about the fact that I've been like working 20 plus years non-stop, like full-time stuff between jobs, multiple jobs at different times to absurd levels at points. So it's taking a little me time. Yep, pretty much the same here. I couldn't tell you the exact age I started working. I just remember it's when I was legally allowed to. And then technically before that with family business. Oh yeah. Like, I've definitely left jobs before, but usually it's I leave a job into a job. It's only been the last 2 times I've left jobs that that's not been the case, and the other one it was, you know, I had all the skills set to contract my own business kind of thing, so I had clients within, you know, a matter of days a week. I should not be trying to fight this stuff in the dark. I can't see anything. Oh yeah, no, it's 100%. Like, that's kind of one of the things to me that tells me that something is currently not right with the way a lot of stuff works, is if you wake up in the night, like, hot sweat, panicked about something work-related that you know, isn't even a thing. It's like something that happened in the past. It's like, okay, that's a strong indicator something is very wrong with that situation. Panic should not be like a normal and acceptable thing to, you know, have induced from you supposedly by something that's supposed to be mutually beneficial. Like, the same goes with the way our school system works. Just, you know, it's been a very, very long time since I've been going to college, and I still wake up like, oh god, I forgot my final project. Wait, brain finally wakes up. I haven't been in school for like 15 years plus or whatever. Probably did not forget my final project. One must actually be going to school for that to be a thing. Yep, exactly the same thing. It's like, clearly there's not, like, if that is normal, like, that shouldn't be normal outcome. I mean, the whole point of going to school is to learn, to gain information, to become more effective at whatever it is you want to do, that kind of stuff. Like, you have different reasons of going to school, but along those lines. It shouldn't be nightmare-inducing levels of stress. In hindsight, I probably should have had us head home, even though we've not been here long because of the fog, but at this point I'm feeling overcommitted. It's fine. It is. Eat this out, like finish eating before we go inside, just in case you have to defend yourself at the door.